Welcome back. All right, just the 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League, so pretty quick review tonight. We'll go ahead, we'll just jump right in. The New York Rangers, the Chicago Blackhawks, Shesterkin versus Knight, and it was great. They were both wearing their Centennial jerseys. It was blue versus red. I love this trend in the NHL. I really hope it extends beyond this season and we see that more and more. Early press by New York. The Hawks then get some pressure the next shift. Burakovsky's denied as Chicago has some momentum going. The shots are 4-2 in favor of Chicago, just 4.5 minutes into the game. Bedard has a rush chance, that's denied. Then there was a post for JT Miller as the Rangers are pushing, trying to get that first goal. Nazar has a net drive that gets blocked. The Hawks press with 9 minutes left. The teams trade turnovers. Mikheyev has a rush chance, that's kicked aside. The Hawks pressure with 4 minutes left, and the Rangers, late in that period, they were struggling to get to the net. They ended up with 6 shots. They had opportunities, just a lot of blocking and a lot of keeping them to the outside. It is scoreless after 1. Second period, the Rangers had the early jump. Murphy has a shot that deflects wide as the Hawks get some pressure. Things get pushy on a hole by Shesterkin. The Hawks draw a power play. There's a one-timer by Grzelcyk that gets held. That power play gets killed off. Morrow has a net feed. That's kicked aside. The Rangers draw a power play. Chicago scores on it. At 7:08, it's Crevier with a shorthanded goal. He has a backhand on a net drive. Very nicely played. The assist to Grzelcyk and Dickinson. So the shorthanded goal makes it 1-0 Chicago. And then more importantly, the Blackhawks do finish the kill. The Rangers press at the half. They're kept to the outside. The Hawks score, but it's a hand pass. Yep, missed stoppage. They challenge for a missed stoppage, and it works. So, again, tonight we saw this. That's, 4 in a couple of days? It feels like there's a lot of them right now. The shots are 8-4 for the Rangers with 8 minutes left. Schneider has a net feed that's held. Panarin then has a fast break that's defended. And at 14:27, Bedard fires one from the slot. He did go over and thank Burakovsky after because, Burakovsky, nice job setting that up. Bedard buries it. It's 2-0 Chicago. The Hawks look for another. There's a press by Chicago with 2.5 minutes left. Gavrikov has a wrister that's held. Knight played pretty well when he was tested. He didn't face a ton of shots, but he played pretty well when he was tested. The Rangers press to close out the period, but it's 2-0 Chicago after 2. Third period. Moore has a one-timer that's fired wide. 3.5 minutes in, we don't have a shot. And 3 minutes and 50 seconds in, we do, and we have a goal. Bertuzzi roofs a rebound in close. Green and Bedard with the assists. Makes it 3-0. Chicago then goes to the power play. The Rangers do kill that off. Shesterkin holds after it's done. Shots are 4-0 Chicago at 6.5 minutes. The Rangers draw a power play. Chicago kills that off. The Rangers press after that power play is done. Crossbar and out for Lafreniere. 8:05 left. The Rangers get a power play. Nazar lost the handle on a shorthanded fast break. It's been a while since he got a goal. He's playing well, though. So, it happens. That power play is killed off. The Hawks then have a power play with 18.8 seconds left to kill the clock, which they do. They win this one 3-0, so the chess magnet's on the board. So is the Tony the Tiger magnet because Spencer Knight was great. Shots on net, 10-6 Chicago in the first, 11-8 New York in the second, 7-4 Chicago in the third. Final shots 25-21 for the Blackhawks. Power plays, the Rangers 0-3, Chicago 0-2. The hits, 36-12 for the Rangers. Very physical game by New York. Shesterkin saves 22 out of 25. Spencer Knight saves all 21 for the shutout. And so Chicago gets a much-needed victory tonight. Next up, Detroit and Calgary. Gibson versus Cooley in this one. Edvinsson has a shot that's held. The Wings had the early jump, and they'd score a minute and 2 seconds in on a rush. It's a cross-ice pass by Kane, and DeBrincat buries it. So DeBrincat scores from Kane and Kopp at 1:02. It's 1-0 for Detroit. Shots are 4-0 for Detroit 2.5 minutes in. A net feed to Huberdeau gets picked off, and then at 4:33, it's a one-timer from the left circle, the same place DeBrincat scored from. This time it's Sandin Pellikka, the assists to DeBrincat and Kane. So Kane with a couple helpers, DeBrincat with a goal and an assist. It's 2-0 for Detroit. We're not 5 minutes into the game yet. The Wings then had some turnover problems that were giving the Flames chances during that first period. Frost has a net feed then that gets picked off. The shots are 7-2 for the Wings with 5.5 minutes left. That's why I said it was giving the Flames chances, because they weren't hitting the net. So that's problematic, right? Gibson was in a scrum behind the net. Backlund then has a rush chance. That's kicked aside. While Gibson was in the scrum behind the net, Cooley came all the way up to center ice. He did not cross that center line. It was a just-in-case thing, right? So it's 2-0 for Detroit after 1. Second period, we get a power play for Calgary. Coronado can't bury one in close. We get 33 seconds of 4-on-4. Then we get a minute and 24 seconds of 4-on-4s. There's a bit of a parade going in. There's a press by the Flames. They're kept to the outside during that 4-on-4, and then everything gets killed off. The Flames press at 7 minutes, and at 7:41, Detroit scores. It's DeBrincat roofing one in close on a turnover, Kopp with the assist, so at 7:41 it becomes 3-0 in favor of Detroit. Van Riemsdyk's denied on a breakaway the very next shift, so not great defense at that point by Calgary. Shots are 6-4 for the Flames, though, at 8.5 minutes. Kadri has a shot that's held as the Flames press, and then at 9:09 on a 2-on-1 rush, Larkin scores, Lucas Raymond with the assist. It's 4-0 in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off. The shots are 13-6 Calgary with 5.5 minutes left. The Flames press with 2 minutes left. They can't solve Gibson. It is 4-0 in favor of Detroit after 2 periods, even though they'd been outshot 25-15 by that point in the game. Third period, early press by Calgary. Ball has a screen shot that goes wide. The shots on net are 3-1 for Detroit, 3.5 minutes in. Calgary presses at 4.5 minutes. The Wings block. DeBrincat's denied from in close. Things get pushed in a hole by Gibson. We get a power play for Detroit. And during that, there's a penalty shot awarded to Farabee, and he scores on it. Breaks the seal. At 8:02, it's a shorthanded penalty shot goal. Then the Flames finish the kill, and not long after, at 9:07 on a 3-on-2 rush, Coronado scores, Kadri with the assist. It is suddenly 4-2. And then at 14:38, Weegar with a one-timer pass to screen makes it 4-3. Anderson and Kadri with the assists. The Flames would pull the goaltender. They do call a timeout with 1:21 left. Despite trends in the direction of the late goals in every game, the Flames are unable to generate that tying goal. Your final score in this one's 4-3 in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. Shots on net, 8-7 Calgary in the first, 17-8 Calgary in the second. Both teams had 12 shots in the third. Final shots 37-27 for Calgary. Power plays, Detroit 0-2, Calgary 0-3. The hits 20-15 for Detroit. Gibson 34 saves on 37 shots. And Cooley 23 saves on 27 shots. So I guess Talbot's going to play tomorrow in Edmonton, which makes some sense. There's a little bit of history there, isn't there? All right, next up, the Florida Panthers and the Utah Mammoth. Bobrovsky versus Vejmelka. Early press by the Mammoth. The lone shot on net belongs to Utah 3 minutes in. The Panthers get zone time. Utah, those blocking, keeping them to the outside. We get a power play for the Mammoth. Hayton has a slot shot. That's blocked out. That power play is killed off. 7 minutes in, the shots are 4-1 in favor of Utah, so they're controlling the play. Mammoth pressure at 9 minutes. Samoskevich then couldn't bury one in close as the Panthers get an opportunity. We get a press by Florida with 9.5 minutes left, but at 11:23, Dylan Guenther buries one on a breakaway to make it 1-0 Utah. The assist to John Marino. Keller then has a net drive. That's defended. We get a press by Florida with 2.5 minutes left. Eventually, Florida would score, and it's in the final minute, the dreaded final minute, right? 19-17, it's Verhaeghe tipping in a net feed. He stays red hot. The assist to Ekblad and Bennett. Then with 32.7 seconds left, the Mammoth go to the power play. So it's 1-1 after 1. That power play rolls over to the second period. The Panthers do finish the kill, and not long after that penalty's done, at 1:40, on a rush from the left circle, Bennett gives Florida their first lead of the game at 2-1. The assist to Rodriguez and Mikkola. Florida presses at 2.5 minutes. Eventually, they'd score on a turnover at 3:24. Bennett buries one in close. Verhaeghe with the assist. So Bennett with a couple of goals. Florida's up 3-1. But at 3:37, so 13 seconds later, it's Guenther on a breakaway again. Krause and Marino with the assists. That makes the score 3-2. The Mammoth then press looking to tie it, but the shots are 4-3 Florida with 8 minutes left. Or at 8 minutes, I should say. Keller's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. Rodriguez was robbed on a rebound. And then at 14:37, Utah ties it. McBain buries a rebound from the doorstep. Dursey and Cole with the assists. So it's 3-3. Studnicka has a fast break that's defended. Then with 44.3 seconds left, the Mammoth get a power play. So in the first and the second period, they get a power play in the last minute. Rolls over into the third period. There was a shorthanded Marchand chance that was denied in close. We then get 11 seconds of 4-on-4, partly as a result of that. And then the Panthers would go to the power play. During the Panthers' power play, Lustarinen's robbed in close. Utah does kill that off. There was a review to see if the puck had crossed the line. It did not. Panthers press after that power play is done. 4.5 minutes in, the shots are 11-0 for Florida. So Utah just ran out of gas, I guess, in that third period. Get a power play for the Panthers. There's a shorthanded 3-on-2. McBain fires wide there. Power play's killed off. The fans call one. The referee does not, so they let the referee know what they thought of him. Pressed by the Mammoths with 7 minutes left. The shots are 17-3 for the Panthers with 5.5 minutes left. Eventually, they get through. At 19:08, the last minute of the period, Lundell buries one from the doorstep. Lusterinen and Reinhart with the assists. And Utah is unable to answer. Your final score in this one's 4-3 for Florida. Shots on net, 13-10 Utah in the first, 13-7 Utah in the second, 19-4 Florida in the third. Final shots, 36-30 for the Panthers. Power plays, Florida 0-2, Utah 0-3. The hits, 21-19 for Florida. Bobrovsky, 27 saves on 30 shots, and Vejmelka, 32 saves on 36 shots at the other end. Last game of the night, LA and Seattle, which of course started really late because of the doubleheader. I couldn't understand. This game ended at a really early time. It went pretty fast, and I thought, okay, they could just go straight to this game and drop the puck on time. No, we had to have a 20 to 25 minute post-game show in December for a game featuring two teams that aren't in the playoffs. At least Chicago's above the playoff line now. We'll get there when we get there. At the end of this, but I don't understand the 20-minute post-game stuff in a game for a game in December. Anyways, Forsberg versus DeCord in the LA-Seattle game. Early press by the Kings. The shots are 2 apiece, 3.5 minutes in. Anderson has a shot that's blocked as the Kings get some pressure. There's a power play for the Kraken. LA kills that off. Not a shot on net there. Beniers was denied via a 2-on-1 rush. The Kings get stuck on 2 shots for a while, but they would get some shots later in the period. There's some pressure by LA with 5.5 minutes left. We then get a power play for the Kings. That's killed off. 2 shots on net. There's no scoring in the first. We go to the second. We get a power play for the Kraken, and they score on it. At 3:21, McCann with a one-timer from the high slot. Dunn and Stevenson with the assists, so 1-0 lead in favor of Seattle. Kings then draw a power play. That becomes 36 seconds of 4-on-4. Then it becomes 38 seconds of a 5-on-3 for Seattle. There's a shorthanded rush by Laferriere. I kept wanting to say Lafreniere. Laferriere. And then the next opportunity Laferriere gets, he scores the shorthanded goal on the breakaway. At 8:16, Armia with the assist. It's a 1-1 tie. Kings finish the kill. The shots are 9-2 for Seattle halfway through the period. Kraken press with 6.5 minutes left. Dunn's denied. The rebound's cleared. Byfield to Clark at the Seattle net gets picked off. Game's opening up a bit late in the second. McCann has a slot shot. That's sticked aside by the goaltender. And it's 1-1 after 2. Third period. Early power play for the Kings. Armia gets robbed twice on back-to-back opportunities. Seattle does kill that off. Shots are 3-1 for the Kings at 4.5 minutes. Fogle has a net drive that's defended. Byfield has a net feed that gets picked off. Evans has a slot shot that's kicked aside. There's a press by Seattle at 8 minutes. The Kraken draw a power play. That's killed off. Shots are 7-6 in favor of favor of Seattle with 6.5 minutes left. Then with 5:48 left, there's a 4-minute power play for the Kings. So that leads to booing from the crowd who weren't happy. And what made them less happy was at 14:40, Fiala roofs one on a fast break. Kopitar and Kempe with the assists. Now what's interesting to me with this is, so it was a 4-minute power play with 5:48 left. They could have killed a little more time on this. And I'm saying that like you want to, but what scoring early on this power play did was it gave Seattle a little more hope so that they wouldn't just be facing a minute 48 left after the penalties are done. So the Kraken do kill the other 2 minutes. The goalie pull happens with 1:46 left. And then the LA Kings forgot how to play hockey. Montour has a screenshot that's caught and held. The Kraken call a timeout with a minute left. With 38.8 seconds left, it becomes a 6-on-4. We have seen this so many times this year. It has just become very, very predictable. McCann exits on the play, so McCann was having trouble walking out of there. He got tripped. It was a tripping penalty on Forsberg, the goaltender, that led to the 6-on-4. And of course, they score a 6-on-4. At 19:35, Beniers tips one top shelf, Tolvanen and Dunn with the assists. So for LA, I have this to say. This is a divisional matchup. You gotta hold the lead a little better than this. So in the overtime, Byfield steals on a lost faceoff. So Seattle won the faceoff, and Byfield went and got the puck, and then it went right back to Seattle. We then get a power play for Seattle, so the implosion of the Kings is complete. When at 1:21, Dunn with a one-timer ends the game, wins at 3-2 for Seattle. Tolvanen and Eberle with the assists. So Yeah, the Kings imploded late in this one. It's becoming an issue around the National Hockey League. Shots on net in this one, 9-6 LA in the first, 16-6 Seattle in the second, 10 apiece in the third, and Seattle scored on the only shot of overtime. Final shots, 33-25 for the Kraken. Power plays, the Kings 1 for 5, Seattle 3 for 6. So eventually, once that power play got going, there wasn't anything the Kings could do to stop it. Hits 18-17 Seattle. Forsberg 30 saves on 33 shots. DeCord saved 23 out of 25 at the other end. All right, and let us go ahead and look at what this does to the standings. All right, so even though there's just 4 games, there was movement tonight. Detroit's back in first in the Atlantic. 17-11-3 record, 37 points in 31 games. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. So they bumped down Tampa. They bumped down Boston. No change in the Metro. No change in the wild cards. The Rangers with that loss tonight, 15-13-4 record, 34 points in 32 games. So they're only 1 point back of a playoff spot, but Pittsburgh and Philly have 4 less games played. So that's problematic. Florida moves up, 15-12-2 record, 32 points in 29 games. Don't look now, they're 4 points behind Boston, and they've got 2 games in hand on Boston. They passed Toronto and Columbus, and they're 3 points back of a wild card spot as well, although both Philly and Pittsburgh have played 1 less game than have the Florida Panthers. And out west, the LA Kings miss out on an opportunity to tie Vegas. They're now 14-8-8. 36 points in 30 games, 4-3-3 in their last 10 still. Chicago moves into the first wildcard spot. 13-11-6, 32 points in 30 games for them. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. Moves the Oilers down to the number 2 wildcard spot. They have the exact same record as Chicago. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Utah is now below NHL 500, 14-15-3, 31 points in 32 games, 3-7 in their last 10. They just don't seem to have any confidence right now. Seattle moves up a bit, 12-10-6 record, 30 points in 28 games. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10. They really needed that win tonight. So they have 2 games in hand on both Chicago and Edmonton, and they're only 2 points back of both of those teams. And outside of that, Calgary with the loss tonight, they're still 6-3-1 in their last 10. 12-16-4 overall for 28 points in 32 games played. So more and more teams getting to that 30-game mark and beyond. It is a very condensed schedule, and tomorrow night we have 13 games, 26 teams playing. My guess is the standings will change a little bit tomorrow. Are we starting to see that separation? Not in the East, not really. You've got 7 points separating Buffalo from that last playoff spot. I don't think Buffalo's going to get there, but still 7 points separating. In the West, there's only 7 points separating the number 2 wildcard from the team at the bottom as well, although it does feel like the West is just the mediocrity's there, right? So in the event that Seattle heats up or maybe Winnipeg figures things out, maybe that'll change. But that's definitely been an issue in the West, that it does look like at least one mediocre team probably ends up getting in. Although once you get in, doesn't really matter, does it? You still got an equal chance at maybe going on a bit of a run. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.